Laura Jean Reese Witherspoon knew by the time she was 7 that she wanted to be in the movies. She convinced her parents to let her take acting classes while she was still in grade school. Her acting coach saw the potential in Reese right away.
The line was, "I feel terrible." That's all it was. I feel terrible. And I want to see what the kids bring to that line before they ever get the first bit of instruction from me. So they're lined up, one after another. "Hi, I'm John Smith. I feel terrible." The next one, "Hi, I'm Jane Smith. I feel terrible." And, and nothing. Finally, "Hi, I'm Reese Witherspoon. I feel terrible." First time out of the chute. This kid got it. That's what I was looking for. And I knew then this child had it.
But Reese's parents still weren't convinced that acting was something their clever daughter should spend too much time on.
The very last night of class, Reese just did a knockout job on the little commercial that everyone had to prepare. And Betty came up to me and said, "Should Reese continue in this? Does she really have a chance?" And I said, "Absolutely. Go for it." And I told her, as I just told you, she has it. She has what it takes.
When she was 13, Reese went to audition for a movie being shot in Louisiana. Casting director Sherry Rhodes had been searching for an unknown actress from the South to star in a story of young love and heartache called The Man in the Moon. Rhodes saw hundreds of girls in open casting calls across 11 states. The talent search stopped at Reese's hometown of Nashville, and Rhodes was having trouble finding the right girl.
I told my assistant, I said, "I think there's somebody here. I just know there's somebody in Nashville."
Reese hadn't heard about the first audition, but Rhodes decided to hold a second casting call in Nashville.
Reese came in on that second call. Her daddy brought her. And I know we made her go wash makeup off of her face because we wanted to see that freshness that she had.
Reese's wholesome look made a big impression on Rhodes.
I had to find a girl just on the cusp of womanhood. In other words, she couldn't have a bosom. I said, "Okay, Reese, now turn to the side so I can film how you look." And I said, it just came out, I said, "Oh, boy, you don't have..." And then I stopped, and she turned and looked at me. She knew exactly what I was thinking. She didn't have a bosom, and it was perfect.
She asked Reese to read some lines.
A friend who was with me said that he saw her all by herself over in a corner in a window studying those lines, very focused. And the other girls were giggling and laughing and embarrassed, and she just rose to the top. I thought we'd found her.
Not long afterward, Reese was on a plane to Los Angeles for a screen test with 2 young hopefuls for the film's other starring roles.
They were wide-eyed. We stayed at a hotel on the beach. They played on the beach, and the director watched them a lot and then had them read the scenes together.
Reese couldn't understand it when the girl up for the part of her older sister decided the movie business was not for her.
The girl from Mississippi was 16, had a boyfriend who didn't want her to be in the movies, and Reese said, "Sherry, she's going, boyfriend, movie, a boyfriend, movie." And Reese said, "Isn't she stupid?" I said, "Well, honey, you know, some people have to make their choices." So she did. She made the choice to go back to Mississippi.
Witherspoon was happy to stay and signed on as one of the young stars of The Man in the Moon. Soon after, she traveled with her mother to Natchitoches, Louisiana to start shooting.
Reese was totally excited, totally ready for it. Her mother and daddy were a little more reticent. They didn't know what this meant.
Reese played Danny Trant, a 14-year-old girl from the South who falls in love for the first time. The script called for the fledgling actress to tackle some challenging scenes.
I think it was the first time I actually had to kiss a boy. It was on screen, so that was kind of awkward. And I was very nervous. And but his name was Jason London, and it was all about my character. Was just excited to kiss a boy for the first time.
I think there's that awkward discomfort between teenagers in general when it comes to something like that.
That first kiss, that screen kiss, Roger Ebert put it on his list of one of the best screen kisses ever.
I personally remember her having 14-year-old girl breath and me wanting to just get through the scene and get it done, and so I didn't have to be embarrassed anymore, so that was it. And then watching the movie later, I realized how special of a scene it was.
It was actually a sweet movie.
Despite her inexperience, Reese adapted easily to the long hours and pressure of making a movie. She celebrated her 14th birthday on the set. Rhodes and the rest of the crew watched out for the budding actress when her mother had to return to Nashville.
I said, what is her favorite meal? And they looked at each other, and Reese said, well, I'm a little embarrassed to tell you. And I said, well, don't be embarrassed, honey. What is it? She said, hamburger helper. And I laughed, but then I cooked hamburger helper for Reese. That's what she wanted.
Reese's co-star Jason London had never acted before and was immediately impressed by Reese's talent.
Getting to watch her work was, it started to click in. Like, this kid's pretty special. This kid's got something going on here. In fact, I'm quite jealous of it. What is it? I want some of that.
When the movie opened almost 2 years later, the cast went on a media tour, and London saw many changes in his teenage co-star.
There's a line in the movie that she says, what are your hopes and dreams, something like that. And I say, well, my dreams are that your boobs would get bigger and your butt would fill out a little bit more. And she slaps me, and they go into the kiss and all this. And then by 2 years later, Reese, her boobs were getting bigger and her butt was filling out more, and she was growing up, and I was starting to see this, young woman developing.
Reese's first feature, The Man in the Moon, was not a big moneymaker, but critics liked the film. She even caught the attention of Martin Scorsese. It was a time of tremendous opportunity for young Reese, but she was also about to experience her first career setback. In 1989, Reese Witherspoon turned an open audition in her Nashville hometown into a starring role in a Hollywood film. She was just 13 years old.
I think some people are just born again actors. They have it in them when they're tiny.
Director Martin Scorsese heard of her talent and invited Witherspoon to audition for his upcoming film with Robert De Niro, a remake of the noir classic Cape Fear. Reese was excited to get the chance to do another movie, even though she had no idea who Scorsese and De Niro were.
She was kind of going on a blind audition, and then someone on a plane, supposedly, the legend goes, told her what she was going to do, and she started realizing what it is and who it was she was going for.
By the time she got off the plane for her audition, Witherspoon's excitement had given way to anxiety. She blew the audition, and the part went to Juliette Lewis. But not every audition was a bust. Producers of the 1993 drama A Far Off Place were so impressed by Reese's talent, they changed the script to expand her role.
Originally, there was a strong boy and a girl who followed along behind him. And when they met Reese, they changed it to a strong girl and the boy who followed along behind her.
By the time she hit high school, Witherspoon's busy acting schedule had her faxing in homework from film sets. Her parents were supportive of her acting career, but they insisted Reese not give up her education.
I think her parents had enough faith that she was bright enough that she would do it. She did pretty much get through with school and did go off to college, but I mean, you're in college and you're in a dorm, and you've got movie people begging you to give you a couple of $1 million over here. It's hard to finish school when that kind of cry is out there for anybody.
Witherspoon enrolled in pre-medicine at Stanford University, but acting offers kept coming her way. She decided to leave her squeaky clean image behind with her sexy and startling portrayal of a runaway who gets entangled with a dangerous Kiefer Sutherland in Freeway.
You could see her going deeper and deeper and deeper into that character and be just totally forgetting about Reese. And that's one thing she does.
Witherspoon loved her Freeway experience so much, she decided to pursue her dream of being a career actress. She dropped out of Stanford after only a year to join Paul Newman, Susan Sarandon, and Gene Hackman in Twilight.
Most parents aren't too crazy about that, but hers said, okay, we're here to support you, whatever it is that you want to do, even though I think they were holding their breath a lot of the time.
Soon after, Reese threw a party to celebrate her 21st birthday. A young actor named Ryan Phillippe had come with a friend for the free beer.